It's Copa Sudamericana round 2 time again. Again, we're against a Brazilian team whose name I know. We're at home in the first leg, and we're away in the second leg. You see both of them in this episode. I can't catch a break. I've seen so many easy games in this round. But let's just hope we can get a result then and see if we can get into round 3 and manage expectations. Let's do it. Hello guys, David here and welcome back to episode number 24 of Going Intercontinental here with Newell's Old Boys. As I mentioned in the intro, it is Copa Sudamericana round 2 time, and as I mentioned in the intro, unfortunately we're against another team who are Brazilian and that I recognise. We are up against Internacional. I don't know much about them, but I do know who they are, which last year spelled danger. Hopefully it's not going to do the same again. But since you were last with us, there's been a couple of games. Obviously, last time we gave you the games against Alte, Brown and Banfield, where we had a decent enough win and Varela got on the score sheet, and then a very dismal and disappointing draw at home to Banfield. We've then followed that up since then with an unbeaten record, which I'm quite pleased with, and 2, I would personally say, very, very good results. We drew at home to Racing Club. Thiago Banega, who I actually forgot played for us last season, he got on the score sheet, and then Martin Benitez levelled up with just over 15 minutes left of the game. We then played against Colon, and we were 1-0 down, and I was thinking this is going to be a horror show, and we're going to completely capitulate into the next couple of games, with Brian Ferrioli getting an early goal, and then Sforza came on. I think he scored literally within 5 minutes of the game of coming on, scored again, and then Ceballos completed the turnaround 5 minutes later. So in 10 minutes, we'd gone from being 1-0 down up to 3-1. We then went away to Estudiantes and drew 0-0. It was a bit of a boring game, to be honest. As you can see, the defensive players played the best in that particular game. Varela again didn't really turn up, to be honest, but every time I think he's becoming more of an impact player, because every time I bring him on he scores or does something. Every other game if he starts he doesn't play very well, so maybe he's one of those impact subs while he's getting used to the squad. And then we turned up against River, and my word did we turn up. We beat them 2-0 in their own backyard. I was absolutely buzzing at this result. As you can see, the defensive unit covering themselves in glory. They had an absolute stormer of a game in that one. And then, Belmonte with a penalty just before the end of the first half. And then right at the end of the game, if I recall, they had a lot of chances before this as well. Damian Varela picked up a goal in stoppage time to make it 2-0. So I was very, very pleased with that indeed. But in this game, we'll probably get in this episode, we're going to bring you the 2 games against Internacional, and then we'll go after that. We'll probably leave that to the end of the season, and we'll go straight into a season review for tomorrow's episode. But without any further ado, let's get into that game then, shall we? So, team for this game, although I've just debated myself into a change, it is going to be Limassol in goal, Ferroni, Caligari, Fernandez and Steve Hood, the back 4. Ferroni still in as a result of Batola's injury, because I don't think you guys would have seen that, so he is out for, I believe, both of these games, if not one, but I think we'll probably keep it with Ferroni in for the next 2 legs. Fernandez at the base of midfield with Torres and Belmonte ahead of him. Aguirre and Benitez then supporting Ceballos up front. Obviously, my last minute change, which you would have just seen, was bringing Varela back to the bench, because I basically just talked myself into it, is the honest answer. As you see, we've got a fairly strong bench as well. We've got the likes of Sforza, Nadal and Belotti, who can probably come on and do a job, Funes, Moriles, Capitani, etc., who can all come on and really hopefully impact the game if we need to, including the likes of Rodriguez. So without any further ado, let's get stuck in. I have in the meantime also been looking at centre-back, because I did mention in the last episode it is an area of weakness that I am slightly concerned about. I've elected to kind of look at some of those. There are a few that I'm quite interested in. However, nothing's kind of materialised yet. I think we'll probably wait till the end of the season and see if there's any people going on either a free or a cheapo transfer, because that's what we like to do. This obviously is going to be the first year as well that without any sales at the end of the season, we are going to go into the new season in a positive balance, which is awesome. Like I said, I've never been a player in this particular game to manage expectations in terms of finances that well, but I seem to have done well enough so far. But anyway, enough about that. Let's focus on this game, shall we? Like I said, I recognise Nacional, Belmonte getting a very early yellow card, which I'm not particularly pleased with. He's 3 minutes in. Interesting choice from Sebastian to get rid of it like that. Let's go straight to the keeper. Yeah, I do recognise this team. They finished, or they are 12th in their league at the moment in the Brazilian Serie A. I think that's what it's called. So hopefully we can get a result against them. Like I say, I'm a little bit conscious of the fact we are home in the first leg, so we probably do need to get a very decent result here. If we lose in the first leg, I'm not confident at all, I'm not going to be honest. But Benitez has a chance, and it's an early goal. 4 minutes in, and Martin Benitez has scored, and that is exactly the start we wanted. That's a lovely finish from that man. He didn't really seem to be going anywhere with the ball. All of a sudden, just turns his man and just dinks it into the bottom corner. He actually lost the ball at one point. Touch on the edge of the area, lovely finish into the corner of the net. Get in, lads. 5 minutes in, and we are 1 goal to the good. That is exactly the way I wanted to start this game. Steve Hill with a commanding header on the right-hand side. Back to Benitez, who's running with aplomb here. Goes to Julian Fernandez, who plays it to Torres. Back to Fernandez, who's going to play it to Belmonte, to Benitez. To Belmonte again, this is getting quicker. Aguirre on the edge of the box. Oh, grazes the top of the bar. These are the chances I want to see, boys and girls. This is exactly the start I wanted. I want to overwhelm them early doors. As I mentioned in the intro, there's so many teams in this round that have been drawn that I don't even recognise. Look at all of these. You've got Palestino, Oriente Petrolero, Zulu FC, Libertad. Believe it or not, I've never said those before. That is the first time I've said them, and I'm pretty impressed with the pronunciation there. I'm so annoyed that we've got a team like Internacional, who are actually a decent Brazilian team, who just can't catch a break. The expectation from the board in this one is to get to the third round, so winning this leg matches expectations. I, of course, want to go further because now we know for sure that we will not be getting Copa Libertadores football from the league performance this season. And it was, in fact, I think it was a game or two ago when it was physically or mathematically confirmed as Charles has a chance, and Caligari's got a goal, and it's 2-0. I've been interrupted, but it's 2-0 up. Lautaro Torres, I think he took a shot there, to be honest with you, but I don't honestly give a crap. Torres has taken a shot. Caligari's there. Lovely little play there. That is, I'm so happy with this. But as I was saying, we actually got a message from the board saying they were really disappointed we didn't get Copa Libertadores football as Benitez. It's the post. I can't finish my story. They actually said they were really disappointed, and I had to go into a meeting with them and just say, look, I'm really sorry it didn't happen, but they are... they're okay with it. Now it's 3-0, so I was looking at my phone. What was I doing? But Damien Fernandez has scored. It's 3-0. I have a word. Balling from Torres. I've actually got to watch this one properly. Balling from Torres to Fernandez at the far post, who just goes straight past keeper, shoves his hands out, and he's not doing anything there. It's 3-0 inside the first 35 minutes, and I am absolutely buzzing at the moment. In case you hadn't already realised, Torres are playing an absolute blinder of a game in the centre of the park. Benitez and Fernandez and Caligari both on the score sheet. It's not often you see both your centre-halves on the score sheet within the space of, about 5 minutes? This is ridiculous. And this is going to put us in a very, very good position if we can see this out. Don't let your performance levels drop. I can't tell them that I can't praise them. I'm just too afraid to do it. Don't look at your phone. Put it over there. Put it back over there. We don't need to worry about that right now. But we are lighting up the Marcelo Bielsa Stadium. It's actually a packed-out ground for this round. Properly bringing in the crowd for this one. And this is exactly the way I wanted to repay them. Torres with an 8.5 now. He's absolutely smashing it. And this is, catch my breath. What a first half that was. I said, that is not at all what I was expecting to happen. They've even got, is that the Bachiller? I don't know. I don't think it is. I'm sure he's Spanish, but I'm sure he bounces around in saves on this game. But, I don't even care. I'm not even remotely bothered. Yeah, we're 3-0 up. I don't want to say we're cruising, but... Right, let's make some changes. I was even contemplating the whole Fernandez off the Sforza change that I've done when we can't get into a game, but we don't need that today. I'm actually thinking, do I give Belotti a run in the team? Because he is a very, very good-looking player at a young age. I think we'll bring him on for Belmonte. He's the only one who's not really turned up in the centre of the pitch. In fact, I've remembered that Belotti can actually play at the defensive midfield position. At the moment, we've just got a lot of players who can do a lot of things. In fact, actually, I'm going to give him a chance in his preferred position. and I'm going to bring on Rodriguez, who can play in the Mazzara role, and he can drop back as a defensive deep line playmaker, and let's see how that turns out for now. But yeah, this is exactly how I wanted this game to go. It's not how I expected this game to go, but it's how I wanted it to go. I'm glad we're turned up. Although, interestingly, even though we're 3-0 up, most of the other players, apart from now Ferroni, haven't really had as good a ratings, as good a games as you'd expect, considering the scoreline and the stats. My word, had all of the ball. They've had one shot on target. We've definitely done well, and I am going to praise the boys just to G them up a little bit, which it seems to have done. So I'll praise them at this stage. Obviously, we do need to be very conscious of the away goal rule, because you never know, they could come back, and if we concede one now and they beat us 2-0, we're out. So we do have to be very careful. I am also going to bring off, who am I going to change? I might bring off, I can't really bring off Ferroni because he doesn't play there. I'm going to bring off Steve Hood and bring on Andriozzi instead. In fact, Andriozzi, because in the time I've been playing offline, I have made the decision that if I am going to sell one of my right backs, it is going to be Nadalan. He's just not really breaking into the squad anymore. It is a case of either Steve or Dino. Wow, that sounds like such a pub team. Who are you going to pick, Steve or Dino? That was, yeah. Well, that was my... I don't even know what accent that was, to be honest. But let's not do that again. Steve or Dino will probably be my two choices. And again, as I mentioned, I'm sure I've got a fourth choice kicking around somewhere, but we've got a corner throw, and he puts the ball in, tries to get to Caligari. Aguirre has scored, and it's 4-0. Why am I doing this in every single goal we score? Oh, my word. This is just scenes. Absolute scenes. Straight through. I mean, that is a defensive horror show from Internacional. That was concerning, to say the least. But we are 4-0 up. This is ridiculous. I did not expect this at all. I am now so much more comfortable knowing the next game is coming in a few days' time. We do have the game against Rosario first. I am going to do that one offline because I'm sure you're going to want to see whether we get through or not. So I am going to leave that. No. I tell you what we're going to do. Why not? Let's do a 3-game bumper episode. Why not? Because it's a derby at the end of the day. We might as well do that. That sounds like it could be fun. Get through this. I will obviously sim through the rest of it. Nora's back from loan. He again has become a very, very tidy looking player, as you can see. I mean, look at some of those mental stats. Teamwork 18, work rate 16, vision needs a bit of work, but it has improved. Decision 16. Sorry, I'm really buzzing. And free kick taken. Oh my word, I did not see that before. He might have to have a chance in the game in the next one. Let's put him into the squad and let's see if we can maybe give him a chance, because he plays in a lot of good roles that I am very interested in. But yes, what we'll do is we will come back for, I suppose now the technically dead rubber, but it is a league game against Rosario Central. So we'll come back for that in a couple of days' time. Okay then, guys, back for the impromptu second game against Rosario Central. A couple of changes inside. Obviously, I'm just thinking you're trying to keep some players fresh for the next few games, because I've got the next round in the next leg of the Copa Sudamericana in a couple of days, and then we have the next round of the final game of the league like 2 or 3 days after that. So I want to try and keep them fresh if we can. Most of it stays the same, like I say, just a few changes here and there. Limusan, Ferroni, Caligari, Fernandez, and Andriozzi has come in to replace Steve on the right hand side for this game. Belotti is now going to be playing in the defensive midfield role. Going to play as that deep line playmaker again. Torres and then Nora, as I mentioned, he's come back from there. He's going straight into the starting 11 to see how he gets on, who replaces Belmonte, who's just dropped out of the squad entirely because I just don't like it. Give him a rest. Aguirre and Benitez, and then actually I was going to put Ceballos, but I am going to put Varela up top for this one. Been fresh, so let's do it then, guys and gals. We only have 7 subs. I've elected not to change all the other ones because I really can't be bothered. We give me low-end squad number. Yes, we can. Let's put them as 16. I'll try and sort them out. I have to remember to do the squad numbers properly in the next season. I'm getting very, very annoyed that I have to keep looking at squad numbers that are like 70. I think Andriozzi is 78. Look at him. 78. Who's that about? 58, 51, 65. Silly. Don't worry, I'm not going to go like full old school and just run it as like 1 through 11, because I know the team's going to change a lot, but I want to at least have them down a little bit, like Aguirre number 7, that sort of thing. Like that, but yeah, I like that. Aguiro's actually been progressing really well, and I even got a note about Ceballos' progression in between these two games as well. So it's quite nice to see that that's happening. And it's also good to note that we are now we've broken our record total of points as Caligari hits the crossbar early doors. Let's see if we can get another chance in the corner. Torres this time on the other side. It's Caligari again to Varela, plays it back out to Torres, who's going to put the ball in, gets rid of it from the defender, but he's offside anyway. As you can see, we are destined for 9th place. We cannot get any higher. We can get lower. So we have matched our result from last season, which is a shame because obviously, as I mentioned, I did really want to improve, but it's not going to happen. Thrown to Aguirre, who takes his chance, but Ayala gets the ball in goal. Nothing really happening there. Straight out Ferroni to Belotti. That was an interesting choice. I would have just taken it down if I was him. That seems to be something that happens a lot in these saves for some reason. I don't know why. Don't know if you guys get it as well when you play yourselves, but it seems to happen a lot to me. From Ferroni, lovely long ball to Torres on the edge of the box, and it's in, and it's Torres' 4th goal of the season, and I'm doing the hand thing again. I don't know why. We've dominated possession. We've had all the chances in this first 10 minutes, and we are on the score sheet first, and hopefully only. That would be nice. That's a lovely finish from Torres on the edge of the area. He knows I doubt him, so he knows that when the cameras are on him, he needs to turn up. And he is doing that with aplomb in this episode. So far as Ferroni's given away a penalty, I think. He's not good. It gives away the penalty. Not sure what he's doing there. Should have just ran him out to the side, but he hasn't done. They've got the penalty. Presumably it's going to be 1-1. Oh. That was awful. Just spooned it wide. Wow. Well, so still winning. Look at that. We've scored 65 goals and conceded 49. No, that's just too many. It's too many to mount a top 6 charge. Look at the teams around us. Lanús 37. With the highest in the top 9 by 2 goals. Is actually not very good. But it doesn't matter. We're winning this one, and that's all that counts. I'm noticing some players are not quite turning up. Let's get some creativity out from the lads. We've got a free kick from Nora, who know he's good at free kicks. We just found out to Caligari at the edge of the post, far post. He did actually get to Varela at a chance, but didn't manage to direct his header on target. That's for Rosario. Now, where's the ball off? Martinez has got it for them. Ball in. Dealt with comfortably by Caligari. Does go out to Rosario Head, who's managed to find someone in absolutely acres of space, and it's just gone wide of the post. Got away with that. We are comfortably winning our aerial battles. I've seen. Pretty sure it just said tackles we've won. Still won the majority of our headers, but Aguirre in for a bit of space now, runs past his man, gets a ball. No, doesn't manage to get a ball in, just goes to the shot, and it goes straight at the keeper. Aguirre is looking very lively in this episode so far, I have to say. He's making a lot of good runs, which I like to see. Last game of the season is, I believe, against Godoy Cruz, who are down the bottom end of the table, I think. Pretty sure they're the team in a previous episode or maybe a previous game I've played that I was like, they're bottom of the league, they'll be fine. And then foolishly got beaten by them. But that's not the case. You see, we packed out the Marcelo Bielsa Stadium again. The 21st. Zabala, the one who missed the penalty, is having a shocker of a match. And again, Varela, from the start, he's not really doing much. He comes on and plays okay, but he doesn't seem to do much from the start, which is something I've never come across before. That's fine. It gives him a chance to bed himself in. And I think we'll probably bring Ceballos on in the next sort of 15 minutes or so, just to hopefully try and short the game with a goal. But Ferroni with a good chance and a free kick. I'm not sure why he was taking it, but that was a lovely effort, I have to say. Had a few half chances. Ferroni with a corner now. He's going to whip that ball in. He hasn't quite managed to do anything with it, but it does drop to Benitez, who gives it back to Ferroni, who's going to surely whip a ball in at this stage. Oh no, he's offside. That explains why they all just stopped. So they're surely not that scared of him. I have to bring Steve on the left-hand side just to replace Ferroni because he's getting a bit tired. He seems to be in every highlight at the moment. Is that a penalty? I think it is. What's the referee going to say? The penalty is given after video review. Who's going to be taking it? Belmonte, is that? Oh no, it can't be Belmonte. He's not playing. Torres with the penalty to make it 2-0, and he does, and it's 2-0 to the old boys, and we are running away a little bit with this Rosario Classico derby, and I'm very, very pleased with this. This has been a tidy episode up until this point, And Lautaro Torres doubles his tally for the game and gets him a brace in this one. And yeah, I think it is time to bring off Ferroni. I have to toy with the idea. I don't know whether to put... I know I can put Steve and Andriozzi. Can both play on either side? Have a look. But you can play him as an inverted wing back. Let's try that. This is something I've never done before. And then Steve can come on as a wing back on the right-hand side. Let's do that. Let's give that a go. Who knows how it's going to turn out? Obviously, we have got the backup of Nadal on the bench as well. If worst comes to worst. So we can switch them back, put Steve on the left, and then put Nadal on the right-hand side if Andriozzi either has a shocker or gets very tired all of a sudden, or even, not beyond the realms of possibility, gets injured. So we're 2-0 up. I'm pleased with that. And that does, if we continue this run, mean that we are guaranteed 9th place. Because Toleros are currently drawing against Lanús. Doesn't mean we can get up into 8th. We are only going to finish 9th or lower. But we are going to comfortably finish 9th if it stays as it is. After this highlight, I will make my last couple of changes. Aguirre, the lovely turn of pace, goes around his man, but just hits it straight at the keeper. That was a lovely run, though. I say he's just becoming so lively at the moment. He is having a fantastic game. Who else can we bring off? I think we probably need to bring off one of these centre-halves. I don't have anyone to replace them, though. That's a bit of a worry. I suppose we can do something slightly different. Let's do it like this. So we're going to have a very interesting change of positioning. We're going to play 2 defensive midfielders as well as 2 centre midfielders as well. And then the last change we'll make is I'm going to bring off Benitez. I'm going to bring Sforza on instead of him. Don't really need to worry about bringing Ceballos on now that we're 2 goals up. So I think that will do for the time being. Varela scored! Oh my word! I've seen that happen once in Football Manager games, and that was in FM20, and it's happened again. Oh, that's brilliant. I love it when that happens. He's just waiting there. Keeper's gone hook, line and sinker for it. It actually hit him in the head by the looks of that, and it's gone off him, and look at him. He's celebrating like he's just scored an absolute worldie. He has not, but he has scored, and I'm very, very pleased for him. I'm glad he's finally had a decent game from the off. But there you go. We're 3 goals up, and it's comfortable now. We've got no issues in the world. I'm going to drop a bit of praise for the boys again, because I'm very happy with how this has gone so far. We are hopefully into the 3rd round. Obviously, we do need to make sure that we do not lose the next game. It's against International in the 2nd leg, but we are going to be finishing 9th in the league with a record points total of 63. Obviously, 9th is still a little bit underwhelming. I'm a little bit disappointed still, unfortunately. However, we've got a good chance with this team now, I think, to maybe make a very, very decent push into the 4th season. Because like I've said this at the start of the 3rd season, I'm going to say it again now, we really need to get a wriggle on. I know we've still got plenty of time, realistically, from a real world point of view, but we probably need to start doing something, because I need to start getting into Europe sooner rather than later. Interesting point, I did actually have a interview. I got offered an interview in Newcastle just before they got relegated this season, so worth a look, but no, I'm not going to do that. But anyway, let's move on from that, and let's come back in a couple of days for the game against International, and let's make sure we can get the job done. All right then, 2nd leg time. A couple of changes to the squad, just more due to squad registration issues. So Nora drops out, as does Andriozzi, although that's not a change from that perspective. It does mean we have Limusan, Ferroni, Caligari, Damian Fernandez, and Steve Hood at the back 4. Julian Fernandez supporting behind, and Lautaro Torres, and then Belmonte is back into the squad as well. And then we have Aguirre and Benitez supporting Ceballos up top. I'm confident. I hope that's not going to come back to bite me in the arse, but I'm confident in this game. I see absolutely no reason that we shouldn't be going through. We are hot favourites. See, with it being 4-0 up from the 1st leg, I reckon get an early goal, sorted, flying. That's the goal. Interesting. They've got 1 or 2 regens in their team. I think we've just got Steve at the moment, haven't we? He's our only one. I think I've just pressed the wrong team talks. That's not an ideal start. Caligari's confused. Fortunately, everyone else seems okay, so that's all right. I'm not too concerned now. But let's get into this. So we are 4-0 up from the 1st leg. That is quite a result. We are in white. We have the ball. Zabars to Steve Hood, back to Steve. Wrong way around. Stop commentating, David. You don't do it very well. Back to Limassol in goal. That's always a worrying one. Not because of him, but because I know what these highlights do. It's either going to be a very early goal for us or for them, I think. I'm worried the fact that we're passing it between the defenders. This is getting very scary. I don't like this. But Zabios might be in. Is he going to outpace the defender? He is. It's 1-0. I think it's gone in. I'm doing it again. I don't know why, but it's 1-0 inside the first 90 seconds of the game. And that is, that's game over, surely. We know away goals count because we had it last year. So I see no reason to think that that's not game over because they now need to score 5. They need to score 6. To beat us. We're not going to lose 6-1. I hope. We're fine. Benitez is injured. That's not ideal, though. Who can we bring on to replace him? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a change in the team. I'm going to bring Aguirre onto the right-hand side, and I'm going to bring on Damian Varela to come on to replace the outgoing Benitez, because I know that Varela can play on the wing. He's actually got, if I recall, some fairly decent crossing stats, but I am going to play him as an inside forward just to cater for the fact that that's more of what I want to see from him. I want to see him cutting forward. I want to see him going forward, cutting inside and scoring lots of goals. That is ideally what we want. But Zabios obviously now pumping them in as well, so I'm sport for choice. Roman Bravo, who? Don't remember him. So we're still 1-0 up. We're 15 minutes in. We're 5-0 up on aggregate. Looks like International might make a chance now, which is more than they did in the first leg, I have to say. We didn't really see a huge amount from them, but I still vouch for them. I still think they're a good team. I'm not sure what Varela was doing there, but not to worry. We are putting them under pressure, which I do like to see. We're coming forward onto them, which is always nice, is what we want for the Gegenpress. Putting into plan very nicely. Do need to be careful of that man on the right-hand side, it's not gone to. Steve Hood with a lovely challenge is going to get it to Aguirre, who's presumably going to put it forward to Ceballos, who's not really got a lot of support, but finds Fernandez very nicely indeed, who's going to keep running. There's a shot, and it's straight at the keeper, but that was a nice little bit of play. That was not bad at all. It was very nicely done by Ceballos, who somehow managed to find a bit of support, despite the fact it seemed like there was absolutely none whatsoever. It's a corner for International. That's one back, 25 minutes in. They've picked up the ball. They're obviously more confident than I feel they should be. Okay, Passion. Got one. Because, look, I'm not worried. But I don't want to put myself into any concern. That's too many chances now. You can stop it. That's enough. No more. Can I please get through an episode where I win all the games? I think I've done it once. I think. The light on my face from the sun is very, very bad as well. I can't really see what I'm doing. Let's sort that out. No, nothing happened. This isn't what you're meant to do. Oh no, they're through. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh god, no, it's 2-1. It's 5-2 on aggregate still, and I'm getting a little bit panicky now. This isn't good. Especially because it's in the first half. If this was this time in the second half, no problem at all. It's too early for them to be 2-1 up. Oh, God. Why can't we make it easy? Come on. Put your finger out. What's going on? Come on, let's get a goal here. Caligari near post, straight at keeper. No, not again. Jesus. What is the defence doing? They're just parting like the Red Sea. Thankfully, Limassol there to clear it up. Edge of the box, it's gone over the bar. Oh, my word. We're being matched blow for blow here. I'm not liking this now. This isn't fun anymore. No, I'm far from pleased with what I've just seen. Telling me they did excellent. Get out of here, Chicatello. You're nearly out of a job if you say that again, sunshine. Lionel Ferroni not having the same performance in the game that he has in the last couple that we've seen. Definitely underperforming and apprehensive is an odd one. Demand more. Did it do it? Yes, it did. focused. They're fired up. Oh, no. They've made 3 changes already. That's a bold statement. I'm getting so worried now. If they score within the next 5-10 minutes, I'm going to be very, very worried. Obviously, they need to score 6, so we still need to concede 4. But I'm just worried. I don't want to lose 6-1. That would be such an embarrassment because I'm recording this. Let's not have that happen. Right, change. Aguirre has not been his spiteful self in this one. He's going to come off. He is playing on his unfavoured right-hand side. We're going to bring on Rodriguez. Yeah, thanks for telling me that my preferred personnel to bring on would be Martin Benitez. I know it would be. I can't bring him on. He's injured. Stupid game. And then I've got to bring Ferroni off, I think. Let's bring Andrew. Oh, no, Bartolo's now back. I think he can probably make a game. He's very, very non-match fit, so this could be a really terrible decision. But with 27 minutes remaining, I'm sure he can make it through. Either that or we're going to end the game with 10 men and lose 7-1. Who knows? Who knows? Their player of the man of the match so far. 9.0 rating compared to our best player is Fernandez at 7.7. Tells you how the game's gone, to be fair, doesn't it? Come on. Just see it out. Or, I mean, score would be great, but see it out. Surely it can't happen now. Surely they've left it too late. Some team is winning 6-1. Is that Libertads, I think it is? Or Libertads, or what are they called? Libertad, they're winning 6-1. They're 10-1 up on aggregate, though. That's not really going to change much. Come on. Finish the game. I don't mind if nothing happens. No. Now, don't make it more difficult than it has to be. Don't do this. Come on. Stop it. That gives them way back into the match. They're bloody 5 minutes left. Just bloody see the game out for crying out loud. Limassand's done an absolutely shocking game. Maybe we won't play him in the final game of the season, but you guys aren't going to see that anyway. We're going to come back, as I mentioned, in tomorrow's episode for the season reviews. The BIOS, come on, finish it. Penalty. Thank you. Let's get a goal in. Let's make it another 3 they have to get. 4 they have to get, sorry, because they have to then get 7. How do I not trust this team? Thank you very much, Rodriguez. Thank the Lord. I think that's about his 11th goal of the season. So, 9th. I'm overestimating him, but still. It's 6-3 on aggregate. They have to score 4 in 3 minutes. Surely that is impossible to do. They've not scored already. I think we've done it. So let's blow the whistle. That's fine. Just get it over with. I'm so overly concerned about this, but we've done it. We're through to the 3rd round. Thank the Lord and all that is holy. Oh my God. We've managed to beat a decent Brazilian team whose name I actually know. Let's go and have a look and see what happens. First leg triumph helps Newell's past international. We are not aware of that. We've got some cash out of it as well. Not a huge amount, but that's not the end of the world. When does the 3rd round draw get done? It doesn't get done for 2 days. Okay, fine, right. When's the next game? Is it before that or is it after it? That's going to decide whether we do it. It's before that, so let's just fast forward. Let's tell you who we've got in the draw, because that will probably be the next episode after the season review one. So let's fast forward there and let's find out who we've got in the 3rd round. Okie dokie, 3rd round draw. 16 teams go into the hat, so it's effectively a round of 16. We're not on any of them, so they're the 2 big teams, I assume, and they're the little ones, because I'm sure that's how it normally works. So let's go and draw and see who we're up against. I want someone like these. They'll be fine. San Lorenzo out of the hat first. They're going to play Universidad de Chile. Santa Fe will have them. No. Come on, let's have these guys. No, not getting them either. We're going to get a really good... Oh, God. Not them. Right, well, let's return to the square pitch then, lads. For the 3rd time in the series. I believe, yeah. First game will be on the 20th of July. So, yeah, what we'll do a season review tomorrow. We may do those 2 games. It entirely depends on how much of that we get through. Why are we playing them? Oh, my Lord. How many times are we playing them? Bloody hell. 3 times in the space of a week and a half. Christ. Right, yeah, we'll come back tomorrow for the end of season review. We might do one of the games against Lanús. I don't know. It depends on whether you want to see 3 games in a row. I don't really want to do 3 games in a row against them. But we'll definitely come back for at least the 2 Copa Sudamericana games. But anyway, guys, that's enough of me. Thank you very much for watching, as always. If you have enjoyed this one, then make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe for the regular content. You'll see I've done a load of other videos as well as this, experiments, how-tos, and stuff like that as well. And if you do enjoy it, make sure you let me know what you think in the comments as well. But that's been me. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Cheers.